Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. Thanks for joining me for another paper pumpkin alternative video. This paper pumpkin, which was in April 2017, came with some watercolor pencils and an ink spot and a stamp set that had Sarah Douglas, the CEO of Stampin Up's handwriting. We also got a paintbrush and full color instructions. So that was the first that I haven't seen before. But I'm not going to describe to you what's in the kit. I'm going to show you my alternatives that I came up with, and I try to come up with 5 alternatives a month with the paper pumpkin. And I also, if you're one of my paper pumpkin subscribers, I sent out a dozen more exclusive tutorials for you for signing up with me. And if you want to know all about that, you can click the link in the description bar below. So as usual, I usually have a tendency to hoard my little things, like my little stamps and my little inks and my little, in this case, watercolor pencils. So I'm using my own watercolor pencils that are Stampin' Up, and I'm using my fancy paintbrushes. So it's just because I'm fancy, don't you know? I like hoarding like little things that I'm given. I don't know why. Anyway, so you saw what I did there. I colored with the watercolor pencils, and then I loosened the color with some water, and now I am die cutting. I'm using my oval framelits and my Big Shot, and just taped it down with the little piece of washi tape that came with the kit. So you can see that I've made a frame and a circle. So now I'm cutting down the card base that came in the kit. It's black card base, and I trimmed it down just a tiny bit smaller than a regular card front size, or A2 card front size, I should say. And now I'm actually cutting a frame out of, or a circle, sorry. It's not a circle at all. It is an oval. I'm cutting an oval out of the card front. So on the back, I am putting fast fuse, and yeah, I'm going to make a little bit of a shaker card. So I have a little piece of acetate, and acetate comes every which way, back of stamp packaging, or of course Stampin' Up does sell really high quality acetate as well. So, and also Stampin' Up has these wonderful foam strips. These are fantastic. They're awesome for shaker cards. You can see how easily I can bend it, and that is with the backing release paper still on. It bends even better if you take that release paper off, but I don't trust myself to get stuff unsticky. So, okay, so I'm using Whisper White here. It's a thick cardstock. It's fantastic. And I am putting fast fuse on my little oval piece, watercolored oval piece. And you can see that I'm just sort of placing it gently, because if this glue adhesive adheres, it will be stuck for good. So there is a trick that I can sort of, rip it off, but it's not fun. So I'm just very gently adhering this oval right to the exact right place. And you can see my black card front there. So I'm happy with that placement. And nothing super glittery is happening in this shaker card. So I was fine with not having it completely adhered down. I just used the fast fuse. So now I'm working on the little frame. So it really just adds some pop to that black piece. And I just used Tombow glue. I used a very thin bead. Tombow glue, if you take, if it squishes out of anything, it still is tacky. So it becomes sticky all the time. So you either have to use a sticky eraser or whatever. So you just err on the side of less, and Tombow is really strong, so you should be fine. So those are the little flowers that came in the kit. Really cute. They don't really shake that much, but I really like the window idea. So now this little extra piece of watercolor paper that I had colored here. I am using it for my sentiment, and I'm using every little bit of this watercolor paper. So I'm stamping the thank on that little strip, and then the U on another piece of the watercolor paper. And aren't you so happy that I didn't film me fussy cutting? Because I take my time, and I tried to leave a lovely white border. So I really like this idea about when it's like a scripty font in a stamp. I do like to fussy cut them. I like it even better if they're die cut. But Stampin' Up! Doesn't have that many words that are die cuttable. So this is what I'm using. So there's my first number 1 card. I'm cutting off the excess, and I'll show you a couple still shots. It's hard to take a really good photo of with a window sheet in there. So mind you, these aren't too bad. Okay, so card number 2. So here's a lovely envelope that came in the kit, and you can see I am destroying it. I felt kind of bad. Actually, this kit was lovely. I really enjoyed it, and I would have been perfectly happy to do this kit the way it was intended, because our CEO has a fantastic taste, and she did really well. I'm really happy, and I hope that the paper pumpkins in the future will kind of keep up with this. But you never know, so sometimes it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's the whole idea of me doing the alternatives. So while I've been gabbing, you can see that there's the envelope piece. I cut it down just a little smaller than a card front size, and I also have that sticky from the card kit, and it has a sticky back, so it's a sticker. So I cut that down as well for a little bit of a border. I really like this, and of course took my time. So now, oh, here's a sneak peek, you guys. This is the new in color for 2017-2019. It's called Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm in love with it. It goes with everything. Like seriously, it goes with a lot of colors in our collection. So here I have my yellow watercolor pencil and my blue watercolor pencil, and I'm trying to mimic somewhat of that lemon lime twist, but not too much. I don't want it to be overpowering. So I'm kind of making a green with using yellow and blue together. So I let that to dry, and I sped up the painting part. So, because I find sometimes it can be really boring to watch other people paint. I'd rather paint myself. So I'm using my stitch shape framelits in the circle configuration. And now I have, okay, so that was a thick whisper white that I used for my card base. So this is just thin whisper white. I just cut down a little piece, and that's where my little lemon lime twist speckles came from, and my basic black. And now I am stamping with my archival basic black right over top of that resist. So I am making a wicked impression with my piercing mat. I'm holding it there for a while. I don't want to screw this sentiment up, and you can see it was lovely. Then I let it off to dry because it had to dry or else it would smudge. So now I have a piece of whisper white again, and I'm stamping the word best, and there's these teeny tiny little words in the stamp set, and I am using R and the, so it will read, "You are the best." And I thought that this could be a masculine card. You could give it to a guy, you could give it to your grandma, you could give it to your mom. Like, it's a wonderful, it's like a thank you, but just a really good encouragement. So dimensionals on the back of that resist watercolor piece. And now I have cut my, I don't like banners very well. Well, I don't, okay, let's be honest. I don't cut the banners very well, so I use a little cheat and just do like an angle. So I have this little, it's a Misty tool ruler thing, but I'm kind of using it like a T-ruler, and because it's smaller, and I'm just lining up my sentiment so that it's nice and straight. So This is card number 2. I almost felt bad doing the alternatives for this card kit. Like, I'm not joking. I was really happy that I still had a few extra pieces so I could do it like the kit intended. Okay, so what I'm using here is an extra piece of watercolor paper, and I scribbled on some of my watercolor. And now this is a piece of Whisper White, and you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just creating some of that Melon Mambo splatters. So to add interest to the back of the card base. So again, Whisper White thick as my card base. And then I have some of the black that came in the kit. So I cut that down to make a card front. So I must have went 5 1/4 by 4. And then my next Whisper White piece is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, I think. So just a little hair, like a whisper of a border. I really like thin borders. The thicker ones, to me, I don't know. Maybe I'll get back into it. But for right now, I like the thin. We all go through stages. So I cut out the painting part because it was similar to the first two. It was yellow and pink though, and I used my die cut machine, my Big Shot, and I did the sweet and sassy heart. So and you saw which one I did. And so what I'm doing now is I had stamp thanks just over top of that speckled background, and I've fussy cut the U out again, and it's going to say, so I'm stamping again on a little strip of Whisper White, so it'll say thank you so much. So I'm adhering with Fast Fuse this white Whisper White piece over top of a spare bit of glitter paper, and boy, I'm sure happy I'm hoard paper like that, because it turned out perfect. Like, couldn't be happier with this card. So I used a little bit of that black sticky as well, and then all together now I'm gluing everything onto my heart. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out the placement, and that's where it's gonna go. And I basically just followed the heart shape and used my scissors. So I'm cutting through 3 pieces here, so of little strips, so it was a little bit difficult. But needless to say, hairdressers can do anything, so we can cut through anything. So anyway, I'm adhering the heart with dimensionals, and hopefully making that sentiment straight. So a little bit more dimensionals on the hand cut U, and there you go. So I'm using glue dots for these flowers. We came with a lot of glue dots in the kit. Those ones kind of drive me nuts because they have a backing paper on it, and they're good in a pinch, and I would take them on a trip with me, but I'm going to hoard them for now and use the ones that I have already in my desk. So I did put a little bit of a rhinestone in the center of that flower, and I thought it was lovely. Okay, so what card number are we here? Number 4. I have used all the pencils that came in the kit, same colors, and I'm going from red to yellow to blue to violet, and then back again, and I am trying just to get a nice rainbow color wash. So when I do something like this, I always want to start with yellow, because yellow is usually the lightest color, and yellow is going to blend with the pink and with the blue to make orange and green. I deal with the color wheel on a daily basis because I am a hairstylist, so this kind of comes second nature to me. But if you struggle with it, just think of the rainbow, because that's how it goes in real life. So Okay, so I've ripped apart another envelope, to my disdain. I really like the envelopes. Anyway, okay, so I took this envelope and I'm using it to be my sentiment pieces. I didn't really get a good stamping on the first one, so I did a second one. And again, I'm using my stitched shapes, this time the oval version. And I'm going to cut that envelope piece. So it's going to be my my centerpiece, focal piece, I should say. And now I'm using that sticky, stripy black thing that came in the kit. And I also cut that out with just my layering ovals. And I also did a piece of vellum. Okay, to stick this all together, thick whisper white. Now I'm putting on my black card piece, card front piece. And it's funny because here I'm using a thicker border, and then when it goes to the watercolor piece, it's a thinner border. So maybe I'm just, it depends on how I feel, depending on what border I like to use. How's that? I'll claim, creative license. That's what I'll do. Okay, so now I'm going to put some gold thread. I'm just throwing everything on this card. So messy nests take a long time to make messy. And I didn't want this one to be too perfect, but I also didn't want it to be loopy. So it took me a while. I cut it out. Honestly, I edited it out because you guys would be laughing. You're like, it's a messy nest, just make a messy nest. But it's hard to make a messy nest. See, that's too perfect. And then that's too, I can't see it on everywhere. So I took some time to make my imperfect messy nest. And I got it right there. I just have to tuck in the ends, and then I got it. Finally. Okay, so now to put my focal piece together. Again, that stripy piece is a sticker, so that's cool. I adhere it right to the vellum if it wouldn't stick to my finger. Like, these stickers are pretty sticky, FYI. And then just with fast fuse, I'll take the envelope piece that has the sentiment on it and adhere that. I love it. And then I have to put far too many dimensionals on the back of this. And the reason being is because I don't want my messy nest to move around. I'm a little crazy with the messy nest. Okay, so again with my own glue dots and the beautiful, really thick flowers that came in this kit. They're cool. And I did adhere with the sparkly side down, so the flat side up. I just liked it better. I agree with Sarah on that one. And rhinestones in the middle. So tell me how you like my messy nest. I spent far too much time. Okay, so this is the last card. I'm not even watercoloring. So I'm taking this with a football and running the field with it. I'm using Flirty Flamingo and Daffodil Delight for my sponging. This card came out like an odd shape. I don't know what happened here. And I just sponged it on, and then I flicked some water, but I couldn't show you that in the film because I don't you couldn't see me. I was off camera. I don't know how it happened, but the flicking of the water didn't work. So anyway, I cut it out. So but I did let it dry, of course, and I picked up the water droplets a little bit with some paper towel too. Okay, so that's why it's sort of splotchy and uneven. That's why. So I've put some Whisper White backing there, and I used the washi tape. And here's another little bit of gold. So this is the reason why we hoard strips of gold. And, because there's a good reason. I give you permission to hoard the specialty paper. And now I'm stamping the U. And I will be stamping as well the thanks. Thank you. And I couldn't decide where I'm going to put it, up or side. So I went with side. And then I wanted to cut off some of that, or I already did actually cut off some of that resist piece. I liked it better, but then it sort of made the sizing a little bit cockeyed. But anyway, here I go with putting the leaves on. And now I'm adhering it all to a card, to the black card. And I think this was the only time that I actually used the black card for a black card or card base. Okay, so glue dots on the back of that flower, and I actually put 2 flowers on this card. I'm only showing you one. So there's also another card that I did, but I lost the footage for it, so sorry about that. But if you look really close, you're going to see some embellishments that are coming in the new catalog. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon, okay? Bye! Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf to visit my website, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.